We are live. It is Tuesday. It is the 12th. Is it the 12th or is it the 13th? Let's see. Saturday was the 10th, 11, 12. I think it's the 13th of August. Here we are, just yesterday, and I know you've heard a million people chime in on this. I don't know what that means to chime in, but chime is a word we like to use now when we add our 2 cents about Hassan Reddick. Now, a lot of people know how I feel about Hassan Reddick if you follow me on Twitter. A lot of people know how I feel about Hassan Reddick if you followed me here. Look, I think that although he was trying to make the team better, and I think that we're in a position where we could win a Super Bowl, so I'm not going to knock JD too hard. I think there's a lesson to be learned from all this. I think you need to have ink on paper before you make any big deals and anything for big players. But I will say this. We didn't give a lot. Okay? We didn't give a lot. It's not like we traded a first-round pick. It's not like we traded a guaranteed second-round pick. We took a shot at a very good player. He's not a 25 to $30 million edge. He's not a top 3 or 4 edge. People, watch Watts, right? Whether the old one or the one that plays for the Steelers. Watch Nick Bosa. Watch what a real edge does, what a real superstar does, and what it looks like. What it looks like is they terrorize defenses. Was that guy Parsons for Dallas? Terrorize defenses. They show up every game. They show up almost every drive. They're a problem. That's a $30 million player. Sauce Gardner is going to be a $30 million player because he takes out the number 1 receiver for the other team, or he takes out half the field, guaranteed Hall of Famer. Hassan Reddick does not do that. Hassan Reddick had a career year, not last year, in 2022. 16 sacks. Career year. His career year is an off year for the Watts brothers. Okay? Very good year, 16 sacks. Very good year. Now, if you take the Giants, the New York Giants, which they play twice a year, out of the occasion, the team with no offensive line, he doesn't have so many sacks. I don't know sure what the same number is, but it's not 16. Now, you can nickel and dime and do that with anybody, but I just want to point out that last year, Hassan Reddick had 11 sacks. Okay? That's not world-beating. It's very good for a guy who's also able to play against the run. That's why we were happy about the deal. That's why we want to see him play. But it's not top 4 edge. It's not. It's not. He didn't have a sack the last 4 games he played in last year, including the playoff game, which he had nothing, nada. I think he had not even a solo tackle on his own. Okay? So it's not like he's a world beater. He's not. He's actually probably, honestly, worth about what his contract says he is. Yeah, get double-digit sacks. Yeah, maybe he's worth really 20 to 23 million. And at his age, long-term contract, 23 million for 3 years, tops. I'm sorry, but it's more than just sacks. Look, if he had another year like 2022 and 2023, it's a different story. 5 forced fumbles, 16 sacks. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. $25 million, 2 years guaranteed. 3rd-year option with maybe $6 million of that guaranteed. Sure. But that is not who he is. He's just a really good fit for us. A real solid guy to put alongside JJ. And then to have Will McDonald and Michael Clemens. It's nice. He's a proven good player. Let me do something here. There we go. Did it block? If I have any moderators, get rid of that guy. Okay, put user in a timeout. Hide user from the channel. There we go. Sorry about that. We got spammed a little bit. All right, Grandizer, what's going on? So I just want to make it really clear. The reality is Hassan Reddick would be great if we had him on the team. We're not paying him $30 million. We're not overpaying him, and that's a smart thing. Okay? The biggest mistake I think JD made is we overrated his character, because one of the first things that Salah came out and said was, leader with good character. No, he's not. Okay? That is not a leader, and that is not good character. Good character, you don't break contract. This is not a rookie that we're held on for a 50-year option. Now we're franchising him. He's pissed off. You got a rookie that's going into 6 years. They're running out of time. They want their contract. Reward the guy. That is not the situation here. This guy signed a contract for 3 years, $45 million. He's very happy when he signed it. I'm sure there's video or pictures of him hugging people. Congratulations. He plays 2 years of it and decides, I'm better than the contract. I want more. Well, you signed the contract, buddy. And you know what? You could come in, play really well, and in preseason, and we might say, we want this guy around for a couple of years. Let's reward him, and let's give him a guaranteed 20 this year, 20 next year. Give him a raise, or whatever it is. And that's our prerogative. But it's also our prerogative to say, play ball. You're under contract. Just to give some perspective on this, which I think is really important. Perspective. We have a guy named DJ Reed who also has outplayed his 3-year contract for the New York Jets. We signed him to a pretty good deal. I think it's $11 million a year, something like that. And he's playing like a top 10 corner in the NFL. He's been spectacular. I think he's had one bad game for us. Otherwise, he's had 2 spectacular seasons. Yet, DJ Reed is not saying, I want to get paid $25 million like a top corner in the NFL, so I'm holding out. He's not. He's in camp and he's playing. That's character. Because he signed a contract. He made a deal. He made an agreement. Sorry, I have COVID, so I'm going to cough now. But anyway, Hassan Reddick has no leverage. This is the situation with Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick is under contract. If every day he sits out, we know he's getting fines $50,000. Every day, $50,000, $50,000, $50,000. It gets worse when he starts missing games. It gets worse. Okay? Now, he could sit out the entire year, and he could pay a lot of money. A lot of money. That means he's losing money from last year's salary. He's pulling money out of the bank. Now, who knows? Maybe his agent, those guys are multimillionaires, are so confident they're going to get the money back by keeping him as a client. Maybe they're spotting him the money. I don't know. All I know is the man is losing a lot of money. But here's the thing, okay? He demands a trade. We right away, and I love the Jets for this, right away, we put out an announcement. He will not be traded. Love it. Love it. And I've been saying it all along, and I hope this is the case. They shouldn't even pick up the phone. Do not call his agent. Do not call him. Do not answer the phone if they call you. Unless you show up in camp, you are not having any communication. There's nothing to talk about. You are under contract. You are supposed to be at practice. And when you report to practice, we will talk. Otherwise, there's no conversation. So you can wait another week and pay another $350,000. Or you could wait another day and just show up. Or you could sit out the entire year and pay a whole bunch of money. But let me tell you what happens. A lot of fans don't understand this. Let's make this very clear. If Hassan Reddick does not show up this year, he is not a free agent next year. This is not over. That's not what happens. What happens is the contract moves into next year, and he's in the same situation. And if he doesn't show up, he starts paying more fines. And if he sits out that year, now he's missed 2 years and he's 31 years old. Even if we've had enough and we said, we'll let you loose, we want nothing to do with you, and we cut him loose. What kind of contract is he going to get? The last season he played, 11 sacks. A drop-off from the year before. 2 missed years. Sitting out. Breaking his contract. Breaking his word. Coming back as a 31-year-old. What NFL team is going to sign him? And what are they going to pay him? What would you pay him? What? $8 million? Maybe he gets an $8 million prove-it-year deal? Hassan Reddick cannot win as long as we don't pick up the phone. As long as he understands that there's no negotiation unless he's in camp working his tail off. No conversation. No contract negotiation. He can't win. Because Hassan Reddick is not a necessity. He's a luxury. Now, I don't say that lightly. He's a great luxury. He could be the difference between a Super Bowl and not a Super Bowl. He could. It's possible. It's possible he could be the guy that makes that critical play in the playoffs that gets us through the Bills into the Super Bowl or through Kansas City. It's possible. But what's true also is we're a contender without him. We're going to be, I'm not as confident as top 3 defense without him. I don't know, maybe. But we're still a top 7 defense without him. And with our offense, the way they're looking, with a healthy Aaron Rodgers and a good offensive line and those running backs and a wide receiver room that's looking pretty good to me with Mike Williams off the PUP list and Conklin making one-hand catches in practice and Breece Hall looking like he's going to be the number 1 running back in the NFL, with Garrett Wilson primed to go 1,500-plus yards. With all that happening, you think it matters whether we're in the number 4 defense or the number 5 defense or the number 6 defense? We are a contender. Would love to have the guy play, but we have all the leverage because he is one person slowly giving back all the money he's made. $50,000 here. The next practice, $50,000. Guys, look at his history. That $30 million he made the last 2 years, 15% goes to his agents. Tons of it is taxed. Maybe he gets left with $15 million. He's already lost $1 million of it. Let me tell you something. You might think, oh, he's rich. What does that matter to him? If you had $15 million and someone came and took, let's say, I doubt he has $15 million. You think he's the world's greatest savior? You think he can buy a big house and spend a lot of it? Let's say he had $12 million put away. He was smart. He didn't go too crazy. He didn't spend too much of his contract. Let's say the guy's got $12 million in the bank. Let's say he got $20 million in the bank. Let's say he invested wisely. Let's say he took those earlier contracts from his rookie contract. Let's say the guy's worth $20 million. You show me a guy who's worth $20 million who wants to lose $1 million and will lose several more $1 million throughout this season. I don't know what the total is, but he'll lose a lot of money. I think he'll end up losing like $5 million, $6 million. That's over 25% of his net worth. You think he wants to do that and lose a year of his career? Only to be in the same situation when he comes back. Same situation, nothing changes. We're just back to this. We own you. You could come play for $15 million in incentives, or you could sit out and lose another $5 million. And then come back at the age of 31, 32 years old. You've been out of the league for 2 years. You think you're going to get a $30 million contract then? This guy has no leverage, nothing. He's already a fool. He's probably embarrassed and knows that he's a fool. Because here he is sitting here with no way to win. Because the phone's not ringing. When he calls his agent, the agent is saying, sorry, no contract. Because he picked the wrong GM. He picked the wrong GM. When you look at the Baltimore Ravens and you look at the Eagles and you look at other teams like the Steelers and New England and Green Bay, winning organizations, winning GMs, general managers that have put together winners year after year. If you look at what they have in common, these guys don't cave. Losers cave. Losers give in and panic and overpay players to try to buy championships. Losers do that. We're not losers. Later, everybody.